So the idea is if you manage to keep the car after 8 years, whatever happens. If there's small repair bill, you just use it. You continue to use it every year. It's a bonus. Now, if a big repair bill, like let's say the battery dies and it's a 10,000 ringgit repair, let's say, well, you wait. Is it worth it? If it's not worth it, well,
roll it into the lake.
Push it into the river. Originally, we were not very supportive of PHEV, wasn't it?
Yeah.
The reason was because fundamentally you're using two drivetrain.
Double the complication.
So you're overcomplicating things when BEV is reducing complexity, wasn't it? Yeah. PHEV actually goes the opposite direction and double the complexity.
For this, plug-in hybrids were all 250, 300,000, 400,000 sometimes.
Yeah, cost is also fundamentally an issue. No matter what, when you run two drivetrains, the complexity also increases cost, which is why you look at PHEV now. Even PHEV are generally more expensive than pure ICE vehicle, wasn't it? So cost was the second issue. And there's also another issue with PHEV is that because you're having a smaller battery pack, it actually doubles or even triples your charging cycles, meaning that you actually end up charging more. And if you cannot charge at home, this becomes double, triple the trouble actually. But fundamentally, we accept that there is weakness to EV, which is especially at high speed cruising. It's not particularly good at doing that, wasn't it? Yeah. It uses a lot of electricity when you are cruising at high speed. It's good at everything except that part. But that is also the part where ICE cars are particularly good at. It builds momentum, and once the momentum is there, as long as you don't brake, you get to keep that momentum and keep going. We're just saying that we have to change our point of view to a certain extent because from the looks of it, PHEV might look like part of the landscape. It's the reality of what most people will buy if they're not buying BEV in the future. Especially when it comes to the fuel consumption level is pretty decent.
You're saying in China it's already 1/3.
Yeah, in China it's already 1/3, right? For every 3 cars sold, one is an ICE car, one is a BEV, and one is a PHEV. And from 1st of January onwards, PHEV in China is going to have 100 kilometers minimum. So in real life, maybe 80 or 90 kilo.
I think WLTP will be like 70 to 80
kilo pure electric range to be qualified as under that scheme in China. So we were just saying that there is, under a certain circumstance, that we can accept PHEV, especially despite its weaknesses when it comes to overcomplication, which is, number one, the car has to be cheap enough for you to treat it as disposable. All right. Number two, the warranty has to be long enough for you to cover the vehicle for its lifespan. Now, when I say lifespan, I don't mean 20 years All right. What we meant is 7-8 years, maybe at most 9 years lifespan. Now, if you can mentally make the switch and treat a car as serving you for 8 years or 9 years, after which whatever happens. If you get nothing out of it, status quo. If you get 10-20,000 ringgit out of it, great. That's called bonus. Now, if you're in that environment and if you're purchasing a car that is cheap enough for you to go into that headspace, then a PHEV is actually a very good proposition. Right? Meaning you buy a car, you use it for 8 years. After that, whatever happens. And like this car, the warranty it gives you for battery is what?
8 years.
8 years for battery. Drivetrain is?
7 years.
7 years. So 7 years drivetrain, 8 years battery, or 160,000 kilometers. For most Malaysian, I think that's decent, unless you're running a taxi, right?
Or Grab.
For most Malaysian, I think that's pretty decent. They will do a one-to-one swap if your battery charge stays below 70%. So I think if you can accept this 3 point, number one, car's lifespan is 7 to 8 years. Number two, whatever happens after 8 years, resale value is whatever. And number three, the warranty covers the entire lifespan of said car. Then in such a case, then PHEV is actually a very good.
And solves the weaknesses of ICE and
BEVs. Yeah, and especially this car that behaves like a BEV, drives like a BEV, but has no weakness of range anxiety. I think, wow, that is good. And price-wise, is pretty decent, isn't it?
Yeah, fundamentally, once you get the price right, everything can jalan.
Yeah, you're right. Because, when it's 130,000, so we were just saying how this car actually is impressive, like a CRV is, just not as big as a CRV. Right?
And no dynamisms of the CRV.
Okay.
But it's okay.
You don't need that level of dynamism because this car is not clumsy. It's not clunky. In fact, it's pretty darn good, right? It's just not a sporty car. But aside from that, if you're talking about day-to-day function, it functions like a CRV. In all intent and purposes, other than the absolute size at the back, it functions like a CRV. And a CRV is a full 70,000 ringgit more expensive, you know.
Which is your resale value.
So let's say you use the car for 8 years, all right? A CRV. What can you expect? You're not gonna expect 50%. You're maybe gonna, at most, you're gonna get 30% out of it in 8 years. 30% of 200,000 is 60,000. All right? You already lose 140,000, which is more than the entire value of this car.